It's the beginning of the year. Have you set yourself up with some goals? Well, this week on Motivation and Confidence, we're going to do a vision board and help you set your 6-month goals. Stay tuned. All right, everybody worldwide, you're now tuned into Motivation and Confidence, where we help you do your daily best. And I'm your host, Tom Danger. Back this week with a new episode. Talking about vision. Still a new year. We can still set goals. But if we don't have a plan in place, it makes it a lot harder to hit those goals. So I thought a good exercise for us to do is to do a vision board. Vision. What do you see? Where do you want to go? Stephen Covey once said in The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, begin with the end in mind. So in creating the vision board, we're going to actually write out what we see, where we want to be, and then work backwards. That's what we're going to do, okay? I want to start with a story. I remember working with my dad as a teenager on an oil truck, and I was about 16 years old. And we were having a general conversation, and he was telling me about all the things that he wanted to get, like jewelry and cars and, nice houses and all this stuff. And he would look at me and go, Blee, call me Blee, right? Blee, whatever, because I used to stutter, right? Say, Blee, what about you? And I would look at him and I would say, doesn't really matter to me, Pop. And he's like, well, what do you mean? I said, well, the block where I'm from, because him and my mom divorced when I was younger, so I stayed with my mom. 18th and Lenox, heavy drug area. Crime was just rampant, running through the streets. Most of the kids that I went to school with, by the time we was like 14, either you caught a charge or you got shot, and life just ended early. So my mindset was that I wasn't going to live past 21. I didn't have the vision further than that because I could only connect with what I'd seen. And it was sort of like 21 back then was the end of the road. But my dad, he's already in his late 40s. He's like, nah, you can see and do whatever you want to do as long as you put the work into it. He said that, and my father is really good at creating pictures in his mind. Whatever it is that he sees in his mind, he has a way to bring it to reality. Myself, I'm a little bit different. I like to write things down. So in this episode, we're going to talk about the simple exercise of creating a vision by doing a vision board. Now, this one is not going to be the type where you put pictures on it. You can do that. For those of you who want to use your phones, you could always go to Pinterest and create any type of board that you want. For those of you who are on Instagram, you could actually just bookmark images, places, or things that you would like to look back and reflect. Because the universe has a way of bringing these things into fruition once you get it to work, right? And it's hard to drive on the road without a destination. Otherwise, you're just driving. And a lot of us go through life and work jobs and be in relationships, and time will just pass you by and you look back and you go, wow, where did 10 years go? Or where did 5 years go? Or where did yesterday go? And you don't have any recollection of where the time went or even what you accomplished. You just know that you went through the regular routine. So we're going to set some high level goals and then see if we can break it down. All right, so let's do that. So, vision. What we're going to start with here is, let's set some 6-month goals. Okay? So I'm going to write here. I can write big enough. Six-month goals. Hopefully you can see that for those of you who are listening on the podcast and just writing out 6-month goals. Okay? Grace is frowning, so it must be really hard for her to read, but that's fine. Okay? In the 6-month goal, I like to think of things as seasons, right? In the seasons, you have winter, spring, summer, and fall. I like to break it down and think even simpler as that there's 4 quarters to $1, right? So we're going to put a quadrant for each. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Now, in the first quadrant, we're going to call this recreation. Okay? In the second quadrant, we're going to call this business. Third quadrant, we're going to call this fourth quadrant, we're going to have learning. All right? So, recreation. Where do you want to go and what do you want to see? And the beautiful thing about the pen, the marker, the writing, whatever instrument that you're using is there's no limitation. So when you're using your particular instrument to write or type, whatever you're doing, there's no limits to what you can put down on paper. So for recreation, let's say we want to learn a new exercise. Let's do something cool, right? So let's do something, let's say that's low impact, like cycling, right? And for those of you who don't know how to ride a bike, let's say walking. So between cycling and walking, in 6 months, how far do you want to ride your bike, or how long do you want to walk? Now, because I do both, I think something achievable for me, I'm going to say in 6 months, 240 miles. I'm going to ride. And for walking, easily, I'm just going to say aggressive, 100 miles. Let's come back to that, okay? Next, we're going to talk about business or work. Is there a position that you want to achieve, or is there a business that you want to start or learn about, okay? In coaching, I have a goal of getting, in the next 6 months, 10 clients. Shameless plug. If you're looking for a life coach, TommyDanger@gmail.com. I got you. As far as my day job is concerned, I don't really have a goal there, but I don't want to go aimlessly, so I would just say improve workflow. And when I say improve workflow, I'm talking specifically about process. So when you look at whatever process you're working in, what are some good and bad things that have happened that you can look at and say, we should be doing more of this or we should be doing less of this. Very simple. Another thing on the business side, a lot of us like to do side hustles. So maybe it's write a book. Or another simple one that people like to do right now is sell t-shirts or products. Right? Print on demand is a very, very huge thing right now. So it's real easy to just go on, let's say Fiverr, and have someone to design logos for you or t-shirt designs. You only have to pay $30 for it. Then you could take that, sign up for a merch account, possibly with Amazon, or you can go to Printify. It's a bunch of companies out there. I found another company called Gelato, in which you just send them the actual artwork and they handle all the distribution for you, shipping out, returns, production, everything. They just take their percentage, real easy. Okay. Learning. What is it that you want to learn in the next 6 months? I think very important, and this is just for me, but you have your own ideas. Marketing, online marketing. Because if you're going to have any type of business online, product or service, if you don't understand how to move it online, it pretty much doesn't do anything. And one of the simplest ways that I've been taught that you can look at marketing is you see a problem, offer a solution. Now, how do you get it in front of the customer? How do you go out and find those prospects? So learning about online marketing. And in addition to that, I think what I would also want to learn is a new language, right? So for me, I want to learn, I'm going to relearn Portuguese, right? And there's an app that's called Duolingo, in which you can, at your own pace, go ahead and learn a new language, whatever language you want. You can go into this app and you spend, I think, as little as 15 minutes a day, nothing crazy, learn a new language. As far as the online marketing is concerned, there are a bunch of courses that you can find online. Thinkific, Udemy, a bunch of people offer master classes. You could even go into some Facebook groups. You could also look on Instagram, Pinterest. There's a lot of free information out there. However, I would recommend signing up for a class. This way you stay focused. Sometimes when you just search for stuff on social media, you go down a rabbit hole of looking at things that may or may not pertain to what you're looking for, and it'll serve as a distraction, and you don't want that, okay? Now, as far as rest is concerned, right? Vacation spots. Listen, we're not going to stay in this COVID situation forever, so what type of trip do we want to take? Where we want to go, right? Or is it just simply committing to self-care? So let's put down self-care, right? And you have to ask yourself, what is self-care to you? And we're talking about a 6-month goal. So is it going to be taking one day out of the week to literally do whatever it is that you want to do? Is it spending time with people that you care about? Is it going to be buying yourself something nice? In addition to self-care, don't forget, we can also put down vacation. I think simple enough. I want to go to Mexico. I want to travel back to Mexico, all inclusive, and just chill out for a little bit. Okay? So, we have 4 quadrants. This is our vision board. This is where we see ourselves and what we want to do. Now, notice what we did. With the first goal, we didn't just say cycling, right? We put cycling and we put a number that we wanted to achieve. 240 miles or 100 miles. With the business, we didn't just say clients, specifically said 10 clients. The same thing should occur with improving the process. The process should really look at what part of the process. So to be more detailed, depending on the field you're in, we're just going to abbreviate here, customer service. Right? We're going to improve the process of customer service. And if you're dealing online, look at some sort of courses in customer service, because it's not like dealing with your homeboys and your homegirls to where you can just say and do things and treat people any old way, because one bad review online can basically tank your entire business. So you want to make sure that you know how to take care of your customers. If you're going to write a book, we're going to tie the 6 months back to completing the book within 6 months. Okay? The same thing with the t-shirts. To actually set up the t-shirts, to get the design and get it set up, that only takes about a month. So how many t-shirts do you want to sell within the next 6 months? Right? We can put a round number here. We can just do something light to where you know that you can hit it. So let's say if we did 1 a day, 5 a week, so we do 20 a month, 20, so let's just say 120 in 6 months. right? Boom. Self-care. In 6 months, our self-care is going to look like what? What are we going to do? We could possibly say that every other Sunday, we're going to have self-care. Every Sunday, we're going to do self-care. It's totally up to you what fits your schedule. But it is, let's just say, for argument's sake, 3 days a month. No, let's do 4 days a month. What are we talking about? 4 days a month. Okay? Self-care, whatever we see fit. The vacation to Mexico is just two things. If the trip costs, for even numbers, let's say the trip costs $6,000, right? We know that we have to budget every month savings or setting aside money, $1,000 a month, right? We take that $1,000, we do our fours, it's $250 a week, $250 a paycheck, and now we backed into our goal of going on that trip all inclusive. $6,000 is on the high side. You can do something really nice with a family of four for half that, right? So you can do definitely something really nice around $3,000. Probably even cheaper with COVID right now. You probably get something for the low like $1,500, but I would be a little wary about that because that may be a little seedy, right? They may come with a COVID cocktail, and you don't want that, you know. All right? As far as your online marketing is concerned, you just want to take a series of courses. You want to have a better understanding of what it takes to market online within the next 6 months. You could do it within 3 months. You want to do 3 months learn, 3 to apply. Okay? Same thing with learning a new language. You could actually just take the entire 6 months to learn it and then see where you land at the end of 6 months. And this, in its simplest form, is creating a vision board. 6 months goal, we've given ourselves an end date, right? And it's perfect because it's still January. You're going to look back at this, let's say, the end of June or the beginning of July, and ask yourself, where do I fall within my goals? And the beautiful thing about that is, once you do that assessment at the 6 goal mark, you can say, okay, at the 6 month mark, you can do an assessment, see where you are, if you hit the goals, if you didn't, what you need to do to go forward, or to create new goals for the next 6 months, the remainder of the year. Okay? And this, again, this is just giving you a simple breakdown of you creating a vision of where you want to go, what you want to achieve. And this vision board should be somewhere that you can see it on a daily basis. And if you don't look at it on a daily basis, I recommend looking at it on a daily basis, but at least pull it out once a week to see where you are to keep yourself on track. Okay? This is Motivation and Confidence, where we help you do your daily best.